Well, that sucks.
How long do you think it took before Luds asked how quick we could go home? We haven't even started the show yet, but it was close. It was about 15 seconds before we came on the air. But you know what? He's still here. We're going to do the show.
I'm being held against my will.
There's a great line, Jason Bateman. You know who Jason Bateman is,
I
the
do.
actor?
I do.
Good luck catching. And he says he loves to give his fellow actors in a production when they're filming a hard time when somebody's trying to get out there early, and he'll go, "We got you for the whole day, don't we?"
Mm-hmm.
He likes to share. So we got him for the whole show,
I'm
but
here
that
for the
doesn't
whole
mean he has to like it. We'll start the post-game show right now. This is the DLS Stars post-game show as we welcome you inside our downtown Dallas studios. Greg Ludwig, of course, have Ryan Vaughters, our producer. I'm Owen Newkirk. Thanks for joining us. They got a point. The silver lining, the glass is half full side is, it's not a loss in regulation. That counts for something. In a league, in a game where losing the right way is rewarded with a point, and losing in regulation is not, the Stars lost the right way. That sounds really bad, doesn't it?
That's awful.
Sounds terrible. It's
I didn't know there was a right way to lose.
Well, if you lose past regulation, it's a little less.
Isn't it kind of like the consolation point?
It is, but they'll take it because if you lose in overtime or shootout twice in a row, that's like winning one and losing one. But, Luds, I think my main takeaway is it wasn't a win. Could have been. And that was a heck of a lot better than their performance against the Blue Jackets on Tuesday night. Felt like a step in the right direction. I know that's probably not the kind of thing that fans want to hear. They want to see a win.
But I think you're going to hear that out of a press conference. I think you're going to hear some players say, it's improvement. And we're better. We felt better. We had opportunities to win the hockey game. Territorially, we were probably better than L.A., spent more time in the offensive zone than they probably spent in ours. And so I think that where you're at, the time of the year, what's been going on over the last, 2, 3, 4 games, I think you take the high road in this and say that there's some things there we can build on.
Question I was going to ask, we were talking about it, Robert Tiffin was up next to me, and we're talking in the press box. Something I want to ask Glenn Gulletson. I don't know if he's been giving us pretty straightforward, honest answers and talking things, which is very appreciated. Helps us play his
relay
answers and relay it and talk about it. Where's the line between it's early, don't overreact, and it's no longer in a season?
Well, I think that all depends on if you're taking steps, 2 out of 3 games. I'm not saying every single game. But, they say it gets early late, and I think, but sometimes I think as long as you're building and you're going in the right direction and you're collecting points.
Yeah.
If you can be improving, but when you're not collecting any points, what's the point? You know what I mean? Like you're just moving backwards because somebody's winning and somebody's making it more difficult. I would say you're looking 30, 40 games up the road, 30-game mark, and you got to be we've come a hell of a long way from game 4, 5, 6. That's what I would look for. Now, if we're in the same spot with no improvement, to me, that's concern.
If you're at game 30 and you're still in 7th in the Central, that would be a bad thing.
Yeah, but it could be worse because that just means
that's encouraging.
You're just a notch of making and staying in a playoff spot. I mean, again, you want to be in a playoff spot.
Yes.
We don't. I mean, I think. Year after year, let's just talk to some of the teams. The Floridas for sure. They don't care where they finish. They just want to get to the dance.
There's more important saying if it's 30 games in and you're closer to 10 points out than 2 points out, that would be a problem.
Yes, yes.
But if you're close, honestly, I think that bar is lower than what the Stars should be holding themselves to. They should be at least in a wild card spot by 30 games, if not better. I mean, honestly, they won their first 3. We're all thinking, well, here we go again. This team's really good. And and then they lose 4 in a row.
Right.
Granted, this is an overtime loss, so it's not a losing streak. It's a winless streak. And I know some people don't like that distinction, but they got a point. That makes a difference. The point of the whole thing is now I'm just losing my train of thought.
Okay, well, I'll jump in there.
Yeah, do it.
What I want to say is I think we have to be honest, and we've said it in the summer, said it in preseason, said it, early on here. This is not the same team that's been here for the last year to 2 years.
It doesn't look like it.
No, and it's not. It was not at the summertime. It wasn't. When Mason was traded, it took a step back. When there wasn't a spot there, now you've got, a couple injuries, key injuries. So, but regardless of those injuries, coming in, we kept on going, there's a hole in the top 6. I mean, there is. And then, and so that will I believe it will get taken care of. I don't think that general manager isn't sitting up there talking and thinking everything that we can do to improve this. And he's basically saying, let's just keep moving ahead. Let's take in steps. Let's get better in what we're trying to do. We're going to stay in the hunt. We're going to be in the hunt. And then something's going to happen to some other teams. They're going to go, man, we got to get rid of this guy, or we got to make a move or something like that.
That's what I was going to say. I completely blanked on it because I'm sitting there going, listen to myself trying to shine something that's usually a little stinky. But when I say you want to at least be in a wild card spot after 30 games, and I'm sitting there going, that sounds horrible because the bar is set by this team's performance over the last 3 years so much higher than that. Yeah. That honestly, well, we'll accept it because as long as they make the playoffs, they can turn it into something.
Yeah.
But that's really not good enough for what the expectations they've done over the last 3 years. Is it's not to win the division, but to not put a doubt in your mind of will you make the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean,
living in the wild card, Luds, is
it's not a good
stressful place to live.
No, I don't think that's not their intention. Their intentions are to finish in those top 3.
Yes.
And I think we believe when things come together, that's where they're going to be. But I think their goal is let's just keep improving. Let's keep improving.
Well, let's put it another way, because I think that we're both seeing this the same way. If Pete DeBoer was the head coach of the Dallas Stars starting this season with this roster, which is what he would have, right? It might look a little smoother in many regards because these players, many of whom have played with him for 3 seasons. They know what to expect. They know what he expects. They know how he wants to play. They've committed it to muscle memory.
Yep.
So they might look better for their game. However, and I'm sure this was a concern from Jim Nill, if he rolled the same thing back, he's expecting maybe the same result in the end in the playoffs. So they might have to go through some growing pains over the next month or 2. But the long-term goal from Nill is Gulitson's way might change just enough of this roster to make them better when it counts in the playoffs.
They're still going to have to add a couple players for me and get healthy guys back for sure.
But systemically, is that something that you think that's the direction they're hoping that things over time get to?
Yeah, you know what? I don't know if that was in Jim's. I mean, if the whole debacle didn't happen at the end of the year,
I'd have stayed here.
That's
maybe.
What I mean.
I don't know. I feel like he didn't get fired because of it, but it was maybe the last straw and maybe not. Again, we talked about this a lot, but Jim did say, and he mentioned a couple of times, the conversation he had with Pete after coming out of the Four Nations saying, boy, I've been pushing all the buttons I can think of. There's not much else I can do to get things or get rises or sparks or stuff like this. And that, I think, was a big concern for the general manager saying, well, if this experienced head coach feels like he's losing his voice with this group.
Or a Paul Maurice in Winnipeg saying, I've pushed all the buttons, like you said.
They need another
voice. I
don't
know what else to do.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, I don't know if it's waving the white flag. I just think I just think there were something else.
There's got to be. Well,
I think it had something to do with exit meetings.
I think go with the Winnipeg thing too, because you see what Maurice has done with the group in Florida. Obviously, he's incredible success. You're going. Maybe he felt that what he said was maybe he's being honest. Of I don't know if I can do it much more with this group because we need culture shift, we need roster changes, and some of those aren't going to happen. You know, Rick Bowness came in with a clean slate, and he made some drastic changes. Yeah,
well, the voice works. You know, I mean, that the dead cat bounce, as Berkey would always say, but it works. And again, you know, they can lean on something. They've got one of the best goaltenders on the planet, right? Maybe not necessarily in the playoffs last year, but they got a good goalie. So it's a good place to start. I think you look up the middle. You talk about Winnipeg. I mean, you got Hellebuck back there. You got Morrissey as a Norris candidate, and you got Scheifele, who's on a roll right now. So, you know, your spine is pretty good up the middle. And you could say the same thing here. Yep. I mean, I don't think Jake has been Jake. I don't. I
thought he was pretty good tonight.
I don't know. I saw a couple of them. I think he's got a skillet inside that glove because there's one goal where it bounced out twice and Corey Perry scores a goal on that.
I think you're being harsh on that one.
You want me to show it to you?
Not yet, but yes.
Harsh. What's harsh?
I think that Jake made the initial save.
It hit him in the glove and fell down on the ground. And then it hit him in the glove again and fell down on the ground. Corey Perry, I'll show it to you. We can prove it to you.
I would love to see your
There's nobody else around it. We've watched it 35 times.
There were a couple of goals tonight that went in that had nothing to do with the goaltender.
I'm talking about one.
Yes, I know.
One goal.
But I still think
But he hasn't been clean in any game he's played. I love Jake
Even
Ottinger.
the Colorado game?
I think he's one of the top 3-4 goalies on the planet. But he hasn't been clean this year. I'm sorry. And again, some of that can be fatigue. I don't know.
I don't think he's tired.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying he hasn't been clean.
And
we showed the numbers. He's at a 3.64 or something like that, and he's an 8.95. He's not even close to Jake Ottinger.
I don't think he's been the best, but I also think it reflects a lot of the team in front of him.
Okay, you got your Otter shirt underneath there.
Not tonight,
like
but you really think he's been that bad?
Yes. I don't say he's bad. He's not the really good Jake as we've seen in the playoffs last year. Okay. Jake is the reason they got past the second round last year. I don't think he's been near that. I just think there's been things around him that are a little helter-skelter. And that the guys in front of him, Thomas Harley, aren't helping that much either.
That's my big point is that I think that's causing a lot of issues. And it's not just on Harley. It's the whole team, how they defend, how they cover, trying to learn this and not quite having it become muscle memory yet.
Oh, but not even close to that.
Not even close.
No.
62 games, lads.
Yeah, that's right.
If they get
62 games.
62 games. So hopefully
62 games, and starting with game 63, he's won 2 Stanley Cups. I don't know. Maybe that's the number, 62.
Well, you know where's number 63.
Now, let's look at that roster, though, too.
Yeah.
It's got some pretty good players.
Stars aren't exactly the San Jose Sharks either, although they won a fun one in New York tonight.
I have a question for you boys.
Sure.
So Thomas Harley has a contract coming up soon.
I can't hear you. There's Harley outside. What?
Thomas Harley has a contract coming up soon.
Yeah.
Right now, the way he's playing, is he worth the money?
He's still. Oh yeah. If he's going through a little spurt right now, there's a big enough sample size. Thomas Harley's a good player. I just think he had a really good last year, right? We saw this with Wyatt. We saw this with a couple other guys. They had really good years, and then last year they came into the beginning of the season, and they thought it was just going to start where they left off. It doesn't work that way. You start all over again. So I think Harley had one of those dream kind of seasons, going to Foreign Nations.
Everything went well.
It was his coming out party, money, all this other kind of stuff, distractions, and there's all these little things going on. But his defensive play right now isn't where I want it to.
Wait, one thing, if he plays like this for another couple months, he's not making Hockey Canada for the Olympics.
I don't, you know what? I don't know. I just think that they have Thomas. Well, you're probably right. I mean, again, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want that to happen.
I don't either. No,
this team needs that to happen for him. So because if that doesn't happen for now, Jim Nill's on the board. They're on the
he's part of the brain trust with your buddy Doug Armstrong.
And sometimes you have to be a little selfish about your own club, knowing that if a guy like Thomas Harley, just like Robo, didn't make the Four Nations thing and things didn't go uphill for him after that, he got a little pissed off towards the end, I think. But I think for Thomas not to make that team would mean that he had a poor 40-some games, right?
Yep.
I don't know how positive he's going to be coming back knowing that he could be over in Italy.
Yeah, I would like to think that he's mature and professional enough to not have that affect him, but you're right.
I think he's going to be way better before that. I'm not.
I do too. Yeah,
he's going to be better before that.
I mean,
I gave him 20 games, and he's going to see the same Thomas Harley we saw last year.
He missed practice last Friday. They said,
here we go with the sixth thing, and Robo's got a sore foot, and he's got a corn, and everything else.
Okay, hold on. They said he missed practice because he had an illness. Then he played against St. Louis the next day. Obviously, Nils was already hurt. They didn't officially announce it that he was out week to week, but he was already hurt because of the Vancouver game. So Harley, because they didn't have any other healthy D, had to go, and he's a gamer, whatever, fine. He looked awful in that St. Louis game on Saturday, right? He didn't look good. He didn't look like the Thomas Harley. There's been some moments in the first 3 or 4 games of the season, I'd say first 4, where he looked like Thomas Harley. The last couple games, I don't think I'm not saying he's still carrying the nose. I'm saying since that St. Louis game through now, that's 3 games. St. Louis, then Tuesday night.
In other words, half the game he's played this year?
Just under.
Yeah.
Anyway. 3 of 7. But still, those 3, he hasn't looked very good. So maybe he can get one back and get his confidence going or whatever. He's a pretty confident
he's a confident guy. He's going to get it back. I mean, I'm just saying, he's got to be better than what he is
now.
Right
Miro, on the other hand.
Yeah.
We'll get into all that. Let's break it down. I'll give Luds a chance to show you what he's talking about on the first goal, Corey Perry goal, and see if, based on Luds' breakdown, if Jake really did misplay it that badly. Next, on the DLS Stars postgame show.
You know that moment? The one when Owen realizes he left his favorite sunglasses at the beach, on the roof of his car, at the gas station in Maine. Well, I've never done that. But then Owen heard about Shady Rays, and it changed his life forever. The sunglasses are made for real life, seriously good-looking, polarized, durable, and stupidly expensive.
It's not stupidly expensive.
I didn't write that in there.
You took out the not.
I did not write that in there.
Look again.
Stupidly.
Not stupidly.
What is that? Oh, yeah, I forgot the word not. No, they're really not.
That changes the read dramatically.
Okay, so we'll be getting a call from Shady Rays. Maybe I'll finally get my pair of Shady Rays.
They didn't send you your
And
Shady
here's
Rays.
the wild part. If you lose or break them, even on a day 1, Shady Rays will send you a brand new pair. No guilt trip, just replay. There's no guilt trip going on here right now because they are not stupidly overpriced. I'm just telling you, they're cheap as hell. And you get free ones if you lose them. So now he can actually wear his sunglasses without fear. On hikes, on his scooter. He's getting on a scooter right now, even in this little paddle boat. Shady Rays is eyewear that has your back. We've teamed up with Shady Rays. I'm probably off that team to bring you an exclusive offer. Head over to shadyrays.com and use code DLLS35. That's Marty Turco for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself. Those shades rated 5-star by over 300,001 people.
That's right.
Persons.
I'm not here to talk about Shady Rays because Luds already did that. Not stupidly expensive. Let's talk about game time.
How did you miss that word? Not?
Let me tell you, of course, it's one of the reasons why I hop on the scooter because hockey in person can't be beat. The energy, the physicality, the passion, the fans, the noise, the whole arena experience, it's incredible. You need to use Game Time so that you can get 100% authentic tickets on time and the best price. Use the Game Time app, and they have things like priority with fees included, so you never get surprise fees at checkout. Zone deals. You have seat views from panoramic, so you know exactly what you're buying, and of course, the lowest price guarantee. Or Game Time will credit 110% of the difference. Take the guesswork out of buying NHL tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code DLLS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem the code DLLS for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today. Ryan is still laughing, by the way. All right. It's not Halloween just yet. I can't wait to see what Luds has in store for us next week when we do I believe, Tampa Bay, Thursday night, the October 30th.
Is that a lake? No, it's probably an earlier.
No, it's probably an earlier.
Is it in Tampa?
Yeah.
Sure.
First of the trip because they go to Tampa and then Florida on Saturday.
We're gonna know what the next day is then?
What the next day after the Tampa?
Yeah,
Halloween.
Yeah.
Which is why we don't have a show on Halloween. We are going to do our costume show. Luds requested the 30th. I'm guessing
we have our team Halloween game on Wednesday.
So you're going to have a 3-day Halloween extravaganza.
Might even go into Sunday or Monday.
I mean, it's his favorite holiday. But anyway, take these off for now. We don't want any distractions. I know how you don't like them. All right, lads, let's break this one down. First period, Colin Blackwell. Man, did he almost score again. Sagan threw it across the crease, just missed. Right away. Second
shift. Is that the blocker save?
I don't know if Kemper ever got a touch on that one or not. Do you think he got a piece of that one? The one where Sagan threw it right.
You're sitting too high up in there.
It's hard to see.
We get to watch all the replays. You know that.
Yeah,
that's the beauty of being here. Yeah.
But
Kemper Ryan, what did I say tonight after Maverick over here left? I said Sam Steele will score tonight.
You did say Sam
yeah.
Steele.
Well, he hasn't scored since February 28th against the LA Kings, so now it's 29 games and counting the regular season. But he had a breakaway, shorthanded, Luds, almost scored. It didn't work out so well because then Lyubushkin was called for a penalty. Rantanen took a minor cross-checking against Byfield. That gave him the power play. Steele had the breakaway. And then Lyubushkin gets called, so it sets up a 5-on-3. The Kings used their timeout in the first period to set up their number one power play unit for a 2-man advantage.
That was a good call.
I did not like the call on Lyubushkin.
I don't think anybody liked the call because it was wrong.
Would you show him why?
Yeah. I mean, sorry, you people that aren't watching, your folks that aren't watching, but what the puck?
Nice
Break
catch.
Down the start. So anyway, here comes Lyubushkin. He's going for the cross check on the shoulder. That's where you want to go. And here's where the stick is, but the next shot shows you it goes underneath the pad.
Yep.
And this is about the time that Corey Perry is going to reach up and start to grab his head. And he sells it. And you would think for the kind of court, here he is. Here's where he's selling that he got drilled in the back of the head.
Cross check to the shoulder, under the shoulder
pad,
cap.
Can't even get to his head because the shoulder pads are there.
Head.
Yeah. And he got away with it. And ultimately, it paid off. The
worst
what do you
part
think,
about
Diehards,
is that disgraceful? Or is that gamesmanship?
That's Corey Perry.
It is right up his MO.
Yeah.
Love him on your team. Yeah, and he drives you crazy when he's not on your team.
Pat for beak, but yeah. And then after that, here's where it starts. Thomas Harley's got plenty of time to clear this puck out of the zone. Instead of going up off the wall all the way down the ice, he decides to try to fire it right up the middle of the ice. It probably bounced over his stick regardless. Puck stays in the zone, moves it across to his partner, takes the shot, hits Jake in the glove hand, just so you know. And then we don't have the whole thing on here, but this one here is where the shot comes, hits him in the hand, it falls down, they get the rebound, it comes out the other side, and then there's another shot that hit Jake's in the hand. And right here, this is the one that hits Jake in his hand, and it drops off to his right and lays there. And then where is Thomas Harley? He's on outside the post.
He's in a great place to see this.
Who?
He's in a great spot
to watch him score?
Watch Perry score.
Yeah. I mean, and Jake drops this one, and it just lays right there, and Thomas can't reach him, obviously, and Corey Perry just taps it in the net.
On that play, that was Fiala's wrist shot.
Fiala shot both of them.
He did.
Fiala shot the first one. Jake dropped it. Fiala got it back. He dropped it and dropped it right there, and Perry tapped it in.
So actually, you're almost right.
Oh,
the first one, Essa blocks, and his stick drops. I don't know if he broke it or if he just lost it. Because if you go back to the last frame,
what does that got to do with hitting Jake in the glove and falling down?
No. So Essa didn't have a stick when Fiala took the shot from the circle because he blocked Fiala's first effort. It got played back to him. He took another shot. So you said
it hit Jake in the glove twice. We got it from the front, from the back, from upstairs and downstairs.
I don't think it hit Jake on the first one.
Okay. So Owen's right again. Get your Shady Rays on. You can see it next time.
All right. So hold on. I'm going to put these back on because Luds thinks I'm more right when I'm wearing these. So anyway, beside the point, Luds, it's a lot harder for a defenseman to block a shot if he doesn't have a stick. So he can't put it in the lane, or does it not matter?
Not necessarily. I mean, are we talking about Foxa?
No, I'm talking about Lindell. Essa doesn't have a stick.
Oh,
on that
yeah.
goal.
No, Essa's not a guy that goes down. Very rarely do you see him go down. Even on a 5-on-3, a lot of times you shouldn't go down because you got to get up and get the pucks. I mean, it's just all about finding the lane. If it hits him in the stick or hits him where, I mean, you're still getting a little bit of piece of it, but it's still It's tough to say lay down. Eddie would always yell at me to lay down, lay down. A lot of goalies
wants to see.
Well, he can see it, but I can take up the space on the bottom. Generally, when I go down, it's hard to get it past me on either side.
Would you want that even on a 5-on-3?
Yeah, I mean, if you can, it depends on where it is. I mean, for me, it all depends on where the shot's coming from. If it's coming from distance, I don't lay down.
Yep.
In close, you lay down because they can't get it up. From distance, it's only got to get up a couple feet and it gets over the top of you. Then, unfortunately, 5-on-3, if there is a rebound, you're laying on the ice.
That's why I asked you that. Is because by doing that, does it take you out of the play for a second chance?
Yeah.
So we didn't have it on the breakdown. It was a little before that, but the initial chance for Fiala, where he actually took a one-timer and he shot it wide. Okay, this is before Harley gets it and tries to clear it. Okay.
Yep.
There's a pass from the left corner that gets through the seam of the triangle of three penalty killers and goes across to Fiala. And Wyatt Johnston, who's the one forward on the ice for this, you were just talking about forwards getting stretched out, opening up the middle, and here we are 5-on-3 trying to deny the short pass to the point and allowing the seam. And that just seems exactly what you've been talking about, what we saw in the pregame.
Yeah, and especially when it is a 5-on-3 and you're obviously the three guys, you keep things tight and you take away the middle of the ice and you try to. The one thing that power play guys will tell their power play people on a 5-on-3, don't go through the triangle, and that they say that because you're supposed to have your sticks in there, your body's in there. It's just too difficult to get through there, but good players can get through there, and that's the reason. And when Wyatt gets a little loose and gets out too high, Wyatt has to control his feet a little bit because he wants to jump all the time when on the penalty. He always jumps and he can take off, but there's sometimes you got to tap the brakes a little bit and just kind of take care of business right there.
The Stars, I thought, up until the 5-on-3, really controlled. Not a lot happened for a while, but when it did happen, Dallas had the chances. I had the Kings down for 5 scoring chances in the first period. I had 4 of them on that 5-on-3. And so most of their offense came. Unfortunately, it's 1-0 at the end of the first period because of that 5-on-3.
But you shouldn't be going into the locker room feeling down. They scored a 5-on-3.
Because you played pretty well.
And you played well, and you had some opportunities. Their goaltender was good. And you're like, hey, just keep going, guys. Keep going. We're doing a lot of the right things.
So you go to the second period, and after Mikko Rantanen had an open wrister in the slot, great glove save by Darcy Kuemper, we get a goal from Jason Robertson as he scores his 3rd of the year. It's a power play goal, and at first I wondered if there might have been a deflection. This is just a great shot and a screen. I don't think Darcy Kuemper tracked this at all.
Edmondson was screening his goaltender, but this is what I mean about Robo shooting the puck. Robo was out above the top of the circle, and all he was doing is getting the puck to the net, and there's really nobody else there except
it's not
Edmondson.
A particularly dangerous location.
It's not dangerous at all. But
yeah.
Again, he's in that mode this year. He's shooting everything to the net, and he's creating chances, or it's going into the net. And again, I say this a lot when you're playing with Robo or you're playing with Rantanen, whoever it may be, and they're a shooter like Harley. I haven't seen Harley on the power play, by the way, not much at all.
Well, you notice that second unit's not getting a whole lot of time either.
Yeah, well, you got 5 guys.
Especially with Duchesne not in the lineup.
Yeah, but anyway, I think when Harley's there, it's a different power play because the other 4 guys know that, he likes getting pucks to the net, so they gravitate to the net. So I always think that's a positive thing because we've seen with the number 1 group, they can move it around the box a lot. They can kind of go around the perimeter. Well, the first power play they had, 1 shot.
Yep.
They had puck control, but they got 1 shot on it.
And then the only shot was Robertson.
Yeah. Yeah, and Robo's shooting the puck. And if he's in that mindset, so you guys, if it's Rantanen off to one side and Wyatt off to the other, Robo's getting the puck, you should start gravitating to the net.
Okay. After the goal, there's a sequence where Petrovic shoots from above the right circle. Rizkovian gets a backhand rebound on net, saved by Kuemper. Then Rantanen gets the second rebound, finds Hintz for a quick bump shot. Good save by Kuemper. They keep the puck in the zone. It ends up with a Robo wraparound. Another good save. And then what happens? They take it down to the other end, and Cody Ceci scores on a massive deflection.
Yeah. Oh. So we got a former Dallas Star scoring the first one on a 5-on-3, and then Cody Ceci comes down the other end of the ice. That one there, you know what? I thought guys were doing what they're supposed to do. Maverick came out, and he was coming out to block the shot. It catches him in the right skate, and it goes up. I couldn't tell. I almost thought it hit somebody else in front of the net, but kept looking at it, and I don't think so. It just kind of took a.
So the first angle that you saw, I saw the same thing. I wondered if it hit Lyubushkin
on the side of the net.
Yes, but then on watching a different angle, you could see it just because it hit the ice it hit Bork and went down, and it just literally Jake's tracking this to this side, to the left of the shooter, and it goes to the right. I mean, that's what do you want your goalie to do on that one, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So 2-1, and then we take an ad break, and we'll finish the breakdown next here on the DLS Stars postgame show.
DLS merchandise. It's just stupidly expensive. I mean, I'm just saying. It's so overpriced. No, it's not. Okay. I originally thought that was a shirt over there, the one that said DLS Face-Off Collection, but it's not.
No.
So
there's two shirts, two new shirts.
There's two new shirts. We got the one in the back there that's got the 3 stars with it, right? The Dallas Stars. We're trying to figure out what the triangle.
The name
is
of it.
Is the triangle supposed to be making up a star?
I think so.
What it's all about.
Or the letter A, because, and this is a little bit confusing, but it's called the Dallas A Star, as in the letter capital
that's an A?
I guess.
I would think it's a star. It's 3 stars making up a bigger star.
Luds, what you played with that logo, basically. What do you want to call it? Because it says DLS A Star T.
I thought that said tree. Maybe that was a Christmas.
It could be.
No, I don't know. But the green one, I like the logo on the green one.
I mean, it
reminds us of a beverage.
It does.
I think there's a beverage.
There's a Texas beverage that
very
looks
well designed,
very
like
similar
that.
to that.
So these are the 2 new shirts out. Do we have any of the other ones up there? No, we don't have the finisher. I mean, I got 9 seconds because I'm not going to go
rapid fire, Luds.
Okay, we got the Otter shirt. Oh, there's the finisher. That's the Mikko. Here's the Mikko Moose. Where's the Otter? There it is. And that's not Steve Ott. That's Jake Ottinger's shirt right there. And I think that's all we have, right? But those are the there's the Jamie Benn. There's the captain.
We haven't seen him for a while.
And apparently that is the 16-bit 53 C as in center Wyatt Johnston. And we'll end with the Finnish Mafia. Maybe the best shirt out there.
All right, guys, let's talk about the Supporters Club. I'm sitting here looking at Sports Guy TO with his SC badge all lit up in the chat right now. We've got, if you are a sicko, true sicko that wants to and does watch the DLS Stars podcast, pregame show, postgame show, the Mavericks, Cowboys, or Rangers, the Dallas Wings, you have this little badge. William W. Williams, triple dubs. He's got that. Cujo, you've got the SC badge in there. Well, sign up for the Supporters Club. Look for the link in the chat from our DLS producer, Ryan. And you also get access for exclusive emojis. And if you are in the top level, 2 levels of Supporters Club, the higher one gets you exclusive content. And I believe we have another Stars video to make and release soon. So keep an eye on for that. All right, let's keep this going. 2-1. And Alex Laferriere scores. Mikey Anderson throws one in from the left point. Tipped in by Laferriere. And was it Petrovic was the defender right there? And he immediately points to the scoreboard saying, no.
We always do that.
Right?
We always do that.
But he was right on it. He thinks it's a high stick of the puck.
He's right.
Look at the replay.
It was really hard.
Did you notice that this thing
really
was
hard.
4 or 5 minutes of review from the league? It was it because of the camera angles?
Well, yeah, I would assume so. And generally, when they go on that long, it's because they can't get a definitive answer one way or the other. And it wasn't called a high stick immediately.
It was called a goal.
So I thought the longer it was going to go on, they were going to come back and say, we can't see any difference in it, and so you have to leave it as originally called. They didn't. And again, I can't tell. I mean,
if you had to make a choice,
it all depends on what angle you're looking at.
Do you think it was?
I do because when he fell and his stick is above his head, and his stick was somewhere around the shoulders of Petro.
Mm-hmm.
Petro's 6'3", 6'4".
He's a big guy.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you put that all together, you kind of feel that if it hit his stick up there and it's near his shoulders, if Petro's standing up, his shoulders are above the crossbar. That would have been, and I don't know what they all saw. They do apparently have different or more replays than we do. But
yes, there are some camera angles that may not be part of the TV broadcast.
But sure took them a long time with all them extra camera angles.
There was also, by the way, just because we like to have fun on the show, during the review, I don't know if you guys saw this. I don't think they showed it on the ESPN broadcast. down. So if you know where the Stars bench is, down to that corner, that's the end they defend twice. But because this was the second period, it was the end they were attacking. So it was the opposite end from where the goal went in.
Okay, I'm confused already.
So if you're looking from the camera angle, it's to your right. Right before the lower bowl starts to turn around the corner. A fan whips off his shirt. He's still wearing pants, although they were the color that from a distance it was hard to see if he was still wearing pants or not. Runs all the way down the stairs to the glass and starts pressing his bare chest against the glass. And the crowd around him, again, down to the right from as you stare at the Stars bench, was going crazy. And we're watching this because we're trying to figure out what's going on. We're watching the video. All of a sudden, there's a commotion, and you're just naturally drawn to it. And you see this guy with his shirt off making quite a scene, and then the ushers go and talk to him. And then they bring the police down, probably to tell him, hey, stop putting your shirtless chest against the glass. And then they decide they ask him to leave, and they're starting to work him up. And this huge chant of let him stay goes on for at least 30 seconds. It was a sideshow of the game. It had nothing to do with the review whatsoever, but it was pretty entertaining, and we were laughing
I can say
about
slut?
It. Exactly.
Ryan, that story is exactly why we stay here and do our thing from here, so we don't have to witness things like that.
It was remarkable. And there were quite a few people wound up down in the lower bowl over the corner.
It's like Midnight Express. Oh, Billy.
A great reference, Ryan. Yeah, sort of like that. I don't know if it was quite to the same extent, but it was in that vein. Sam Steele had another grade A chance right after the wave off of the goal. Sprawling save by Kempe. And the reason why I keep bringing it up is that's 2 first half of the hockey game, but it's also, we talk about now 29 games without a goal for Steele.
The shooting percentage can't go down, so what's the difference?
Well, yeah, that's right. It's as low as it's going to be, right?
You keep shooting.
Yep.
Don't matter.
The other one I wanted to talk about was Armia dangling Harley and getting a shot. It didn't paint number 55 in the greatest light in that moment.
Yeah.
Everybody has those. It happens, but...
Yeah, but it happened a couple times.
I feel like it's adding up a little bit.
I mean, the one that, again, we talk about the 5-on-3 goal. That one, he had another one. The overtime.
The one against Columbus where he tries to bat the puck.
How about the overtime goal?
You want to get to that now? Or let's.
We got one more, don't we?
Yeah, so third period, the Stars get a power play, and Wyatt scores on a wide open rebound at the left post. This is a nice quick play by the Stars.
Well,
got the whole net.
The Moose. But I mean, the Moose makes the play. When he finds these lanes between people's feet and sticks, this is the one where Rantanen makes this pass to Hintz. And the thing that Hintz did is he gets it off his stick right away. But he finds that little seam, and he's able to lead Hintz, who's kind of creeping in there. Hintz gets the shot off right away. It creates that rebound. And if you are watching, the one thing you don't see right now, you don't see it Wyatt Johnston because he's sneaky over there on that back door, kind of staying away from this traffic. Because if someone's going to shoot the puck from over there, the percentages are depending. I mean, again, he's trying to go to a far side. Generally, that puck is going to come over here, and so.
And don't you love the way Rantanen, because he has options there. He can go to Hintz in the slot. He can go cross the crease back door to Wyatt.
But he's
so quick to make his decisions. It's
hard to defend. He knows he had Hintz in a quality scoring area, so he was in that spot. And again.
And he moves it so quickly.
And it's boom, both of them. I like the way that Hintz gets it off his stick right away. Because, again, if he hangs on to it for a second, somebody may get a stick on it. That play never happens.
2 more really great A's. Wyatt has a backhander in the low slot that he put wide. I thought he had a great chance to score. And then Kempe backdoor from LaFerriere at the right post. Otter got across, made a really good save. That's why we go to overtime.
Yeah.
But then in overtime, Miro comes down. He starts in his own zone, skates, shows his skating ability, blows right down the right wing, and then sails one over the net.
I was going to say, yeah, I think you finished. You skate all that way and you miss the net.
And 3-on-3, when you miss the net, that's essentially a turnover.
Yeah.
And then what happens the other way?
Well, the kid's name is Quentin Byfield. What happened?
He's a really good young player.
He just comes over and he outmuscles Hintz on the boards, and he gets ahead of him, picks up the puck, and then now here we go on the 2-on-1. Now, a couple things happen here. So once Byfield gets across the offensive blue line, Thomas Harley, as you start getting below the tops of the circles, backing up on a 2-on-1, you start to drift off more to the middle of the net. And so that you're starting to take away the pass. And really, because what you want is you want Jake to feel comfortable that nothing's coming across. And so he wants to come out and challenge. But Harley stays in that same lane, so he really opens up the passing lane. Now, the other thing that happened, as soon as Hintz crosses the offensive blue line, he's coming back, trying to get back into the play. He stops his feet, and he coasts. If he takes 3 more strides, he picks that puck. And I went through this with our guys the other day, and it happened to Bork on a Maverick was killing a penalty. He was coming back into his own zone a couple games ago, and he stopped his feet in the neutral zone. If he kept skating into the defensive zone to about top circles, he picks off the cross-ice pass that resulted in a goal. Same thing happened here with Rope. When he comes across that offensive blue, well, there you go. When he comes across that
right there.
Well, no, he stopped him way back. He stopped him up further.
I'll go back 10 seconds. Now, we can't show this because it's a video.
Well, there's an overhead view of him. When he gets just inside the blue line. You can see this
right here, because watch this. He gets his stick lifted by...
That's Byfield.
Byfield, right?
Yep.
And then there right at the blue line.
Blue line's...
You're right, boy. He could have caught...
If he takes 3 more strides, that passing lane's never open. But Thomas Harley is too far to his right. And Harley actually opens up the passing lane. Jake almost got across and got it.
Finish
but
by
see,
Kempe,
Jake,
isn't it?
if you can stop it right there, see where Jake is? He's almost outside the blue paint.
He's ready to take that shot.
He wants that shot, and he does not want that pass to come across.
So I do know of a former Stars goalie who wanted his defenseman to pressure the puck carrier. But there are most goalies want the shot.
No, what they wanted, and this is when Lindy Ruff was here.
Yeah.
Lindy tried doing this.
You're right.
And James Patrick was the D coach. And I talked to him, right, because I was there and I was watching. I'm like, what the hell are you guys doing on 2-on-1s? And he just looked at me and he shook his head. He's like, what? I said, why are you forcing guys just inside the blue line?
Throwing themselves.
Because he feels that if they can make that pass across earlier, then the goalie can adjust to that. I said, just give him a breakaway. And at the time, the current goaltender that was playing, I said, gee, why are we putting our goaltender in those kind of situations?
Who was a big guy that took up a lot of net.
Yes. And things weren't going well for him. And I said, we're supposed to prop up goaltenders when they're having troubles. We don't expose them.
This was like 11 or 12 years ago.
Was exactly what this was here. But every goaltender, I've never played with a goaltender that says, force them right away so I can get a breakaway.
Yeah.
I've never heard that before. And, I mean, maybe Shesterkin or Hasek or one of those guys, but I'm just saying I've never heard it with anybody I played with.
I think you're right. I think that's not the conventional way to do it at all.
No.
So, yeah, I get it. If it gets close to your net and you're in the middle and you get a chance to maybe put a little pressure, but like if that puck gets through, it makes it measurably worse for the goalie.
And see, what defensemen forget is when anytime you see, and I don't know on that replay there, but anytime you
How about
see
the horns down?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Anytime you see a forward as he's coming in on a 2-on-1 or even on a 1-on-1, and he gets across the offensive blue line and his feet stop, like they're not striding anymore. When they stop, I'll ask our guys all the time, what does that mean? And they don't really have an answer. I'm like, he doesn't like where you are. He wants you to come to him because he wants to open up the middle a little bit. I said, he doesn't like where you are. That means you stay where you are. You're taking a passing lane away. And the other thing about that is that forward that stopped his feet, he doesn't stop. He keeps moving and he keeps moving and he keeps moving. The longer you keep him there and he keeps striding, he's putting himself in a worse shooting percentage angle. It's a worse angle, worse angle.
That's about where he hits the one-timer, and Jake is trying to push from all the way on the left side. Right. That's a hard play to make.
Yeah. I mean, I think you just got to be a little bit more lucky than good on those because you're just getting across and hoping.
Yeah, I mean.
And Kempe's coming in, and he's on his offside. It's a perfect setup for him.
And he knew it, and he scores. And you're right. It's funny. The first couple times I watched that, I was so clued in on the puck, I didn't see. But Hintz from the blue line in is observing. He could have gotten there. And there's some other things that happened that led to the break the other way. But that's tough. Stars lose because of that. They do get a point, which is better than 0 points. But
and they played a lot better. They played a better game tonight.
So is it fair? You said this at the beginning of the show, post-game show. Gully will probably say, we haven't listened to him yet, you play like that, you're going to win a lot more than you lose. That's sort of the standard. Is that a fair
I believe
assessment
he's
tonight?
going to have a positive presser.
Yep.
You know, and he can go ahead and look at a couple individual things that happen, but overall, our game was closer to where we want it to be. That's what I would assume he's going to say.
And this is a tricky one because he does a lot of good things, and you just praised him for that quick shot on the power play that led to the tying goal. How do you handle that play from Rope Hintz if you're a coach, knowing he's your number one top line center? And
you say you can show things like that, and you can say this is why we track all the way back to the net
without just embarrassing.
You don't have to name people. You can say, listen, we had a couple times we stopped our feet. Like I said, Maverick did a couple games ago, the very same scenario.
Yep.
It was on a PK. He came across, but he stopped his feet just on the other side of the center line. And there was a pass that went to Maverick's left as he's heading back. Then there was the pass that came back to his right. If he would have just continued to skate back towards his own net, he would have picked the puck off. And there's other examples that I have with that too. I use them for our guys all the time.
Different finish, obviously, than in May, but you think Ottinger is probably tired of seeing Ray Ferraro right there between the benches.
Yeah.
All right. Up next, let's take your Super Chats as we continue and wrap up our post-game show here on DLLS. Now let's talk about the newsletter. Luds gets a break for this one, although he can chime in if he wants, because he's certainly welcome.
How much does a newsletter cost?
It's free, Luds.
Is it? So it's not very expensive.
$0, or
good.
As some hockey guys like to say, free 99 or
free 99.
Yeah,
oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Does that mean it costs 99 cents?
Nope, it's $0.
Oh,
yeah. I know that might be a little confusing, but we have a DLS newsletter. Look at the website at the bottom of the screen, alldls.com/newsletter. You go to that, it literally pops up to a screen, says put in your email address, you hit it, and you've subscribed to the newsletter. Free, doesn't cost you a thing. You will get a newsletter from our writer, Ali, who also is part of the Cowboy Show. And every single weekday, and sometimes on the weekends, especially when the Cowboys are busy, you might get a newsletter that gives you the quick hitters. What's going on on the website, big stories that might have been just dropped, or what happened in your favorite team's game last night, and perhaps a link to our show, whether it's pre or post game or weekday show, whatever. The newsletter is a great way to stay connected with all things DFW Sports and alldls.com. Of course, /newsletter is your way to find it. We also want to tell you that you should definitely consider and just sign up for being a diehard, because that newsletter is great, but the next level is you want to read those articles that linked from that newsletter. You have to sign up to be a diehard to read all the articles. Scan the QR code at the bottom of the screen just to the right of Luds. And if you do that, you will go right to our intro landing page. You can sign up to be a diehard. You can get a free shirt, maybe even the new ones if you like one of the new Face-Off collection that you so eloquently described earlier. That could be your free shirt for your first year of your annual subscription. All the writing from Sam and Sean for the Stars, and of course, Ron, our new Mavs writer. Mavs didn't have a great first game, but hey, Cooper Flagg made his debut, and maybe they'll be good eventually. And, of course, being a diehard gets you access to the diehard-only Discord lounge. And we talk about the takeover. Diehards got first notice. Most of those tickets that were sold gobbled up by the diehards before we even announced it publicly. We are going to a game with you guys, sitting with Luds and me and Sam in the seats, December 7th, Stars and Penguins. We'll do it again, too. It sold so well. We'll probably do one after the holidays. So be a diehard so you get that full notice. All right. Ryan, I think it's Super Chat time. So let's fire up the old Bing Bong and get this one going here on the post.
Bing Bong.
We are going to start with the Stars at night with a Lundqvist and Year After the Cup. This is the effort you get when you fire a coach who keeps you accountable. The Cry Fest piece by Otter by ESPN showed exactly how soft they are. Charmin. Interesting. I don't know if I have the same take as that Super Chat.
Explain it to me.
Okay.
So you don't have to explain the Charmin.
I think you got that one.
I got that one.
The accusation is this team is not being held accountable by Glenn Gulletson and that Pete DeBoer was better at that. I don't know if I buy that. Or they obviously didn't like the little ESPN thing we saw a week ago, right?
They're
talking about him getting pulled in Game 5.
I don't think Pete really went through a lot of stretches where they lost three games in a row. You talked about it in the pregame show, but
2 times in 3 years.
Yeah. Again, different team, 4 lines deep.
A lot of offense. Missing
So much here.
Dodonov, Marchment, Granlund. Not necessarily in a particular order offensively. That's
now and Duchesne,
Ben,
and Jamie.
And your favorite, the sniper,
Nils.
Oscar Beck.
Oh, Beck, Nils. Yeah, I mean, different.
All right, let's go to the next super chat.
Bing bang.
Ardell with a Ludwig, positive it is, and Rantanen. What was Owen's QSC, quality scoring chance tally, for both teams? 29-19 Dallas. Luds, I know it's not enough of a consolation, but if you outchance your opponents
by
10,
that 3 a period, not that big.
No, but over a course of a hockey game, that's usually
they were better over the course of. They were a better team than LA was tonight. I mean, just territorially wise, puck possession,
and they had more grade A's.
Oh,
that usually doesn't always usually translate well. You can get goalied, you can miss the net or hit the posts, and things just don't bounce your way.
Their goalie was pretty good.
Kempe was good tonight. He was better than, obviously, the first couple weeks' numbers. He's a fine goalie. And with a good defensive system, which LA usually has, he won a Stanley Cup with Colorado. He's not some schlub. But, yeah. No, so this was much better. The Columbus game, they got outchanced. It just wasn't pretty. Their first period was just awful against the Blue Jackets. So this was better, but room for improvement.
Bing bang.
Hidalgo with a Ludwig and a Johnston. What would Coach Luds do to fix this?
I don't think you have. There's no. There shouldn't be panic right now. Like I said, we're just into this. You have to look at the roster too. It's not is what it was a while ago, and it's sometimes these changes that he's trying to get them out of. I mean, you're kind of programmed, and you almost have to first deprogram your team, and then you're reprogramming. And so, what they're used to doing is following people around, the same person. So again, that has something to do with it. But I don't think there's anything to panic right now, especially after this game tonight. Not saying it was a great game and they should have, beat the team by 4 or 5 goals, but they were way better than the last 4 or 5 games. They might have even been better than some of the other games that they played early on in the season and still found ways to win.
Ryan, do we have another one that was disappearing because our boy, the Moose Digit,
I don't see it,
is saying that he or she wants a refund, need to speak to the manager, and apparently it was a $10 one too.
I never saw that one.
I don't see it now. If do we want to do the honor system, Nico's Moose Knuckle can put it in the chat.
Yeah, go ahead, Miko, Moose Knuckle.
And we'll bring it up and do it, and we will take your word for it that you contributed a super chat. Bloods,
what happened? What's going on?
There's some discussion in the chat about perhaps it didn't make it. It was the very first one.
Oh, it was supposed to get into the super blooper thing?
I mean, the first one I saw was I can't even get back that far now in the chat. It won't let me do it. So, Luds, I wanted to ask you a follow-up. We said at the beginning of the season when they won 3, but it wasn't perfect. There were periods in each game where it wasn't great. There were things that we were like, wow, they have a lot to work on. Man, is it easier to do that when you're winning because the pressure's off? Well, now they've lost 4 in a row. 1 point in 4 games. 1 out of a possible 8 points. That's not good. Does that make it harder, or is this group better enough, committed enough to what they're trying to do, and there's enough, because it's only 7 games, there's not, it's not, I'm not saying that they're having fun at the moment. But
they shouldn't be.
Right, but this isn't also super stressful panic time either, is it?
No, and I think that there's enough veteran leadership around here to be able to walk yourself through this as you come out the other side, which, again, I'm telling you, you're going to get, when you get a healthy Matt Duchesne back in there, it's going to change the complexion of that line a lot, because you're going to be going north more than in the middle, because Duchesne does so much through the middle of the ice. And I think Tyler's going to probably be better because he gets back, with Matt. They have this kind of chemistry going on with those two. And for me tonight, I didn't notice Tyler Seguin a lot. Now that we're even talking about it,
I didn't either.
And I think
I did notice that at the end of the game when they were chasing a winner, he was up there.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying over the course of the game.
Yeah, but you're right.
That's how much he misses Matt Duchene. Because when
when
Duchene is out there,
tonight.
He can navigate through the middle of the ice and he makes great plays, and Tyler reads off him well.
Okay, so everybody in the chat is vouching for Miko Moose Knuckle, saying that there was a $10 super chat. Maybe it was before we went live, and it was.
Why don't you just read it?
I'm going to.
Oh, okay. I'm going. What are we
doing?
No.
I'm setting it up. Oscar Beck, you're after the cup. I have two issues. One, I am tired of Miko being the most physical star on the ice. Two, the Stars are losing puck battles at the 2-minute mark in the third period. We suck. Maybe a little bit of a step too far. There it is right there. Thank you, Ryan, for pulling that up in the chat. Let's start with Miko.
Well, he's right.
Is that okay, you want to see it from others, but is it okay if Miko's the most physical star? He's a massive power forward.
He's a large human being.
Is that okay for him to be the most physical player?
I think that gets him going.
I do too.
I think that's part of his makeup, and he can overpower guys, and he can hang on to the puck while he's doing it. So, and a guy like that should be dragging others into the fight just by watching him. And there should be. Listen, I don't know what Jamie does when he comes down into the room. Like there's games maybe last week, Jamie could have come down into the room as the captain and said, why is our $12 million guy the only guy that's hitting out? The only guy that's running and going through people?
Let me look at this real quick.
And then some smart ass should probably say, because he's making $12 million. That's why.
That's a good response.
But no, I'm just saying, like, you can call that out. But it's hard for other players to do that if they're not doing the same thing.
I was going to say, one of the guys that's brought in to be physical, Nathan Bastian, I said, I didn't really notice him. You know why?
What did you get, 6 minutes?
3:39.
Oh, yeah. Well,
listen, when they were chasing the game, we were seeing a lot of double shifting of the top two lines. We weren't seeing as much of lines 3 and 4. I don't know I thought early the line of Seguin, Blackwell, and Ernie had a couple like that. Remember I mentioned that early chance for Blackwell? After that line didn't stand out as much as it had the end of the Columbus game and that first chance or so.
See, that's the difference that we're talking about from this year and last year. DeBoer was able to roll his lines, keep guys fresh, and keep pouring guys. And they're like, man,
they had Dodonov on the fourth line
an avalanche
at times.
coming down a mountain. Like, I'm just saying
Sam Steele on the fourth line.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It just changes everything.
Those guys, everybody was slotted where they should be.
Yes.
And when you have at least 3 lines that are very similar, you can keep running them, and you need a little bit of break. You throw that fourth line out there, you don't lose any energy. Right now, what's happening because of people missing and what the lineup is, you're having to overwork a few guys, because you're asking from the Rantanen, from Robo, and from Wyatt. I'm sure Wyatt can go, but I'm just telling you, Wyatt's going to get tired too. He's going to run out of gas at some point. I'm guessing Wyatt and Rantanen both had to be somewhere around 20 minutes, 22 minutes tonight.
Let's take a look
real quick.
Too busy
reading your tweets?
Well, I'm getting ready because apparently we have another super chat that didn't register.
Well, what's going on here?
You'll have to talk to the boss over there. But
how did he become the boss over there?
Well, he's the one not the control.
Isn't it supposed to be green or something like that? Don't bing bongs come up with different colors?
Generally, yes.
Okay, well then
so
it's the machine.
To answer your question, why played 24-11?
That's what I mean.
A lot of minutes.
That's what I'm saying. He's 180 pounds. Is he 180 pounds?
He had a 2-point night.
Yeah,
but he was also -1.
Yeah. So, and you're playing.
That's because they scored both goals on the power play.
Aren't you playing 7 games in 12 days right now or something similar to that?
Exactly what they're doing. It was the second of the 7.
Yeah.
Michael Moore was the other one. He put out one, and I was chuckling to myself because we have I don't know if he's a diehard or not, named Jake, that said it was a $1,000 super chat. So having some fun with it. But Michael's point was Miro is playing like a man that knows someone is better in Thomas Harley behind him. Also, why shoot that shot in overtime? I don't know if I think that Miro's playing because he's worried about Harley taking away things behind him. Something doesn't seem right with, I don't know if it's his hand. I mean, he's fumbling pucks that he never did before.
Yeah. No, he's not running on all cylinders either. Again, I mean, maybe it's still a little bit lingering from his knee. That's what it was.
So Taylor is saying that they believe that the reason is because they put a couple super chats in before our live stream began. So maybe they didn't show up once we went live. That could be a possibility. So maybe hang on to your super chats till we go live, just in case. But either way, we're honoring those. You guys do honor system. We love it. Luds, we're pretty much out of time. Stars play the Hurricanes on Saturday. Need to have more of this.
The good news is they had a game they can build on there before playing these guys. Because if it was one of the 3 games that were prior to tonight's game, heading up against those guys, because they're going to have their hands full. I mean, it's a team that likes to play. They like to play north. They go straight ahead, and pucks are going to the net.
And a regular 7 o'clock game, not this late start. 6:15 pregame show
Doesn't matter.
on Saturday.
It's going overtime anyways. I mean, what's different?
Luds, myself, Sean will be on the postgame show. Maybe pregame. We're not sure.
Really?
Ryan will be here. Sean's here for both weekend games.
Is he in town?
No, just remote. Thank you for joining us. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks for the support. Make sure to hit like and subscribe. Sign up to be a diehard. Get those shirts. We'll see you Saturday for Stars and the return of Logan Stankoven, AAC.
I'd like to use a couple C words.
We all silly like the mayor.